You've got your user stories. They're all written out, but how do you link them together to create the path of the user through your application? Hello, welcome back to the Software Innovation Lab. If you're new here, my name is Dale Richards. I'm a software innovator from Salt Lake City, Utah, and I love making software that changes the world. I'm building a SaaS product from concept to cash, and I'm taking you with me for the ride. If you want to build apps, grow your SaaS business, and make money doing cool software entrepreneur-related stuff, start now by subscribing and hitting the bell. Okay, so in our previous video, we wrote out a whole bunch of user stories, right? We talked about how a user story is a really simple statement that describes, the type of user, what they're trying to accomplish, and why they're trying to accomplish it, their intent. So we've got all those written out. Now, the thing is that what we want to do is somehow piece them together and understand how they relate to each other so that we can figure out, do we have all the user stories that we need? So the question we're trying to answer is, have we captured all of the user stories that we need to get a comprehensive picture of what it's going to cost to build our app? So one method that I like to use is to create a user story map. And what that is you take all of the user stories and you kind of map them out and you show them in relative order. So first user story A, and then B, and then C. And it looks kind of like this. So on this map here that I have, you can see I've got lots of different little cards. I suppose you could say they look kind of like little sticky notes. I like to go from left to right, so the user enters the app on the left, and then they kind of keep taking steps to navigate through the app as you go further to the right. Now, obviously, sometimes you have different paths, kind of like a flowchart, and you couldn't just keep going from left to right all the time because then you'd have a really long piece of paper, and no one has a printer that big. So what we're going to do is show you a little bit about how you can organize a user story map. So this is kind of like a hybrid between a flowchart and a swim lane diagram, except all of the nodes on this chart are an individual user story. So I've got some color coding going on to reflect the type of user. So if I've got, for example, the dental office manager, or if I've got like the employer, I might use one color to represent all the stories that reflect that type of user. And then if I've got the job seeker, so that's the dental assistant or the office assistant or the welder or whoever that is, I may use a different color to represent that group. And then in this specific app, right, we had a third user type, that is the trade school, where we're trying to get all of the graduates placed with employers and track their success. So all of the stories that relate to that user type, I'm going to put in a different color. So that's one way you can use color to clarify the user type. Once we have all of the user stories on the document or on the chart, then what I like to do is I like to put arrows that show the flow from one user story to the next. So as a new user, I want to create an account so I can log in. Great. As a new user, I want to log in so that I can manage my profile, whatever that is. Okay, so you kind of link up all user stories kind of in this unbroken chain from left to right. Now, you're going to create kind of a happy path as you navigate from left to right through all the user stories. That's kind of like the ideal path that you want the user to follow. So it's a good idea to do one pass to put the happy path down. And then you're going to want to also take another pass through the chart to see, okay, what happens if some of these break? If I can't log in, what happens? If I can't sign up, what happens? If I can't upload my picture, what happens? So you want to make sure that you have kind of some error handling built into your unhappy path through your user story map. Once you have everything on the document, then you want to just double check and start like pretending that you're walking through your app. Okay, first A, then B, then C, then D, then E. Oh, I've missed something here, etc. Then have a third party look at it. Okay, so we've got the user stories written out. We have the user story map created with everything on the chart. Then we're going to actually start going into wireframes and UX design, which is super exciting, super fun. That's coming up. We'll talk to you soon. Join us again. Videos are published every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 noon Mountain Time.